Have you checked the children? You're a little mad sometimes.
Hi, I'm Chucky. Wanna play?
Sometimes that is better.
You're gonna need a bigger boat.
Howdy folks, Robert Wolfman here. Welcome back to the horror show.
I'm Marcia Robert.
And I'm Jaime and Fuego, and we have the pleasure once again in doing a patron-requested review, and we have to have the Wolfman here on for it because we got Seth T. Miller with another film that I don't necessarily know if it was that evident within the marketing, but it's definitely listed in the synopsis that this is something that leads towards kind of the lycan,
The lycanthropy.
werewolf. Exactly. There you go. And this is a film called Bloodthirsty. Now, I believe it was on the festival circuit in 2020, but it just recently made its debut on Shudder in 2021. But if you're not a subscriber at Shudder, and I don't know why the hell you wouldn't be, but it's also
$6 a month for all this awesome horror.
What, $54 for the year?
Yeah, you can do the annual plan too, and
Something
save
like
a lot
that.
more.
Yeah. You can do the year plan and everything.
Yeah, but this one's also on Tubi and Vudu. You can watch it for free there with ads if you're that sort of non-committal when it comes to Shudder. But yeah, so just to get into overall impressions and stuff, I guess I will throw it to the expert in these sort of films for overall impressions. We'll obviously do it as we handle our normal reviews with story and just acting and whatever. But what was your overall thoughts on this one?
Well, I'm gonna tell you, you're a sweet man for all those compliments. I'll tell you what. But no, actually, Bloodthirsty was really surprisingly fun, and it was a refreshing little werewolf movie. Because again, going in, didn't necessarily expect the werewolf aspect. Basically, she was on hallucinations kind of thing. She wasn't really sure what she was dealing with, or at least it alluded to that in the beginning.
Because she's on meds. And
exactly.
So.
And even certain scenes, you can kind of see where it was going. So I was excited. But my biggest thing is the refreshingness of this style of the werewolf movie, because it wasn't a just full bore mayhem werewolf kills blah blah blah. It was centered around a woman's mental health, but also her music career and everything. And I loved the tie-in with the music, and even the songs were great in this movie.
They weren't bad. No, I dug them.
Especially our main title theme song and whatnot. It was catchy. I dug the hell out of it. So we'll throw it over here real quick to Miss Marcia.
Yeah, I when I watched it, I had the I don't know if you guys ever got to watch the movie, but it was like watching the movie once with werewolf. It was so cool. It was like, it wasn't really a love story either, but it was about the making of the music. But then there was the fun half of it about there's a werewolf, and all the things that go with that. So it was so cool. It was like a nice kind of very melodrama with horror involved, and nothing was overdone. Everything was done eloquently, and everything worked well, with the acting and set design.
Between her and the girlfriend and everything, I really liked their chemistry in this. And then the issues that were coming about between his name is eluding me right now, but the producer guy and everything that. You definitely saw there was not very good intentions coming about. But it was.
Well, you didn't know what the intentions were.
Exactly. You didn't know the intentions, but you knew that they were not good.
Yeah. So overall, I really, really enjoyed it. It got me within the first 5 minutes of the movie, just the look and feel of it. And I just came off of watching a not so great movie, so when I put this on, I was like, okay, I'm gonna fold my laundry and get through it. And then I was like, oh, this is really good. I was really impressed by what was presented to me. So I loved it.
Nice.
Mr. Fuego?
Indeed. So yes, Cecil did get the chance to watch this as well, but we had kind of a full crew already for this one. So something
and we
he
sent
mentioned.
him out to go get dinner.
Yeah. We're like, go get us salads, man. We're trying to be healthy today. We're not bloodthirsty. We're not digging into meat. At least not
salad wench.
Not
Give me my food.
But something that he mentioned in our pre-production little discussion powwow that we always have is that we've seen more and more lately that you really have to just almost combine genres, and that there's really no limit to what you can do with this sort of werewolf movie at this particular time. And this was refreshing in the fact that it was really a drama with romantic aspects and, you know, a kind of crumbling relationship, and also trying the mystery aspect of what the true intentions, however nefarious they may be, of this producer guy. And I thought his performance, just for overall impressions, was good. I thought that Lauren Beatty, Benny, I don't know how to pronounce this Canadian actress's name, but this is the second movie that she did in the span of a year with Amelia Moses, who is the director of this, who also did another movie with Lauren called Bleed With Me. Yep. We're not talking about that one today, but you can tell that they were very busy up in the Great White North getting some really solid low-budget horror done, and I thought that this pushed the genre in an interesting fashion, and also being about music, you know, and as a musician myself, you know, it just gave an interesting new spin, and I enjoyed a lot of the kind of Billie Eilish, Lord sort of music. It was very it was kind of subdued and minimalistic, but I always like seeing an approach to the creative process when there's something else obviously going on.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Want to jump into acting real quick?
Or story? Get the story out of the way real quick, so we'll throw it back to Mr. Fuego. Yeah, and there's not. It's a relatively basic premise in the fact that, and we touched upon a lot of it already, in the fact that we have this lead actress, and she is kind of dealing with a couple different types of trauma. First, there is like mental issues potentially herself, and how just grounded her sanity is, but there's also the loss of a family member that weighs very heavily on her as well, which we find out about. And so she is trying to avoid the sophomore slump. So she is recruited by this hotshot, kind of mysterious producer, and she goes out to his beautiful mansion, and that place where they filmed was just gorgeous. And studio, you could tell that is a real studio that they probably record all kinds of cool shit at and have spent millions of dollars on. And so he's kind of enigmatic. He's a former boy band dude who has shifted into producing, but hasn't really worked with anybody in quite a while, and he's a hermit, and he's mysterious and isolated about a lot that he does. And
also because like there was issues with his past of,
a certain accusation.
A certain accusation of an acquitted trial and everything.
So there's some scrutiny about her actually going to, you know, work with this guy, most notably trepidation from her girlfriend, who I did find it a little strange that she brought her along, because, you know, if my significant other was hanging around when we were trying to record an album, and like you worry about the Yoko sort of aspect.
I think she was her manager though as well.
Was she?
I believe that's what it was.
But she's a painter in her own right, and a creative. I didn't get that vibe either.
I thought she was.
No, she was just there to paint.
Yeah, to paint and also
and
maybe.
I think she was worried about her going up to this place all by herself.
Well,
I think even more so
especially
that, too.
because of the guy's history. So
because she was trying to urge her early in the film not to even work with him. Remember?
Yep.
And she's like, no, this is what could maybe bring something great out of me, because you always want to take it to the next level with a sequel, whether it's a movie or a follow-up album that was very successful out the gates, as opposed to, you know, just not being able to find it. And he's one of those that is kind of pushing and really just trying to get the best out of her, right? But it's much to the chagrin of the girlfriend, and then obviously all of this is transpiring amongst the backdrop of just mystery about the house and a few attacks that start to happen, and also just the changing and morphing of our character Lauren as she becomes more distant with her girlfriend. So Marcia, obviously from the perspective of a woman, and just the creativity involved in this, and also just some of the interpersonal relationships and stuff. Did you think the, you know, writing was this woman given justice with the character that was written for her to portray?
I mean, yeah, I thought the story was cool. I mean, I'm not a musician, but to watch her go from, are you talking about the girlfriend or the
No, Lauren, our lead, just and just how she was written, and like the pathos and the extent of, you know, I guess maybe this could lean more so into acting as well. But I mean, do you think the character of her as our lead in the tortured musicianship was written well and made sense?
No, I thought it was written really well, because I mean, it captured a lot of lot of her own demons, as well as like her drive and motivation to be successful in her career path and with the music and the all sacrifice type of mentality. Like, I love you, babe, but hit the road if you can't be here. You know what I mean? And like, and that whole sense too of when you have a partnership and you guys don't understand like that kind of path, like how her girlfriend didn't understand why she had to put all the way in and be disconnected. And if you're going down that tunnel and you're really searching for yourself, a lot of things do go away. Like you realize who your core person is, and sometimes when you do that, you realize that maybe the things that are going on around you isn't what you want really in life. So, which is a kind of sad fact. But
and I also think with a lot of work though too. I mean, regardless of what industry you're in, if you have work that comes home with you and takes over a lot of your life, even besides just being in an office for X amount of time or whatever, if it's always there with you, whether you're a musician or and like managing a successful law firm or whatever the hell it may be, there is a lot of demand, and that can be tough on a partner that is of a more leisurely lifestyle, I guess, and that's kind of the vibe I got from the way these two were written. Yeah. Robert, story.
I definitely enjoyed the story on it. We have not really a whole heck of a lot to add up onto that.
Yeah,
because I kind of covered that on the overall thoughts. It was just a really nice, refreshing werewolf story. One issue I would have is just
please.
like no self-respecting werewolf is going to keep silver in their house.
Probably not.
I didn't even pick up on it.
Especially with the length of time that said has been alive for. Yeah.
Exactly. No, I did like the story a lot, especially the dynamic between the producer Vaughn and then our main character Gray.
And how it develops, I like.
How it develops, and just like how he you can see he had partial good intentions because he wanted the best to be brought out of her and everything, and her to perform at her best. But his other motivations and everything that you come to find out were very sinister. So that was written actually pretty well, and there were some little nods and everything even throughout the story that were like, okay, there's definitely something off about this guy, but he acted it out really well, and the story was played out very well.
That's a good segue into acting.
Yeah,
too.
but say that. Yeah, let's just jump. Yeah, let's just jump right into acting real quick. Well, so I already talked about the producer Vaughn and whatnot, but Gray and the dynamic between her and the girlfriend, that was nice. It felt organic. Even times of when Gray was starting to lose herself and basically have her arc of her attitude changing and things, like, because our character is a vegan, and then she starts getting
a little appetite for something.
A little appetite and everything like that, and then
title of the movie.
But it was really cool on how everyone acted together, and I enjoyed it, and it was very organic. What else you guys got on there?
Yeah, it's really Gray is at the head of this, and just the arc of her change and realizing that art is, I mean, she's willing to sacrifice relationship for art to a degree.
Even herself, her known self.
Exactly. It's literally that self-sacrifice of your art.
Yeah, and also the tortured aspect of her as a person, and the fact that she does have these demons often, and some that she had no control over, like the loss of said family member and whatnot. And so just seeing her struggle within that, I thought was interesting. And even as the layers are pulled back and we feel and find a little bit more, I don't want to say respect for said producer, but just, I guess, understanding for approach and for, I don't know, method, and also connection without revealing said thing. And so that's another interesting bit. And really, it's just that trio of actors. It's really, Gray, girlfriend, and then producer. There's not a lot of it. I mean, there's a maid that's around.
She was great though. She didn't really say much of anything.
No, for the few scenes and everything she was in, it was all in the face.
When they first showed up and the stoicness and everything, and just
And then like when he
Like, who the hell are you? What are you doing here?
yeah.
yeah.
All right, come in the house.
And
It's
then
like,
like,
what?
And they
yeah,
thought she
and
was
then
gonna take their
anytime she
bags.
had to go and
Mhm.
do something for
Yes,
him.
yeah,
like,
that
he just
that was
like,
a great scene actually.
okay.
Because
you
that
know?
that definitely was the solidification of this is a werewolf movie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, the picking up
And
of
she
that
enjoyed
particular
it
character.
too.
Oh yeah, she
was
because
having
she was she was basically kind of part of that hunt.
Mm-hmm.
I do wish that we got some more werewolf action
Mhm.
and everything for what we did.
Well, that's a good segue
But-
into effects then,
Well,
right?
let's
Well,
talk
I was about to say,
about-
should we
Yeah,
talk about
sorry, Marcia.
acting?
I'm
Hold on.
sorry, Marcia.
That's okay. I do want to say that like all of the characters had great chemistry, so I think that played in a lot to what we were able to enjoy about the movie, and they were all well casted as well. Like I can't think of another actress that could play Grey and pull off that type of character, because you have to. I mean, I don't know if she was really her singing or not, but it felt genuine.
The artist, her name is Lowell,
Okay.
and she's the one who wrote the soundtrack and did the performing of the songs.
Okay,
Okay.
so she.
It was the same thing like with Townsend and fucking what's his name, Davis or whatever from Korn for Queen of the Damned.
Queen of the Damned, too.
Oh, okay.
So
yeah.
Jonathan Davis did the vocals, other
Yeah.
dude lipped and everything.
So
Stuart
yeah, so then
Townsend.
that speaks a lot to her too, because like it felt genuine.
Mhm.
It didn't feel like she was singing somebody else's words. So
Mhm.
that plays a lot too. But I thought everybody did a fantastic job. Nothing brought me out of it, and because of that chemistry, it sold the story. I think if you didn't have that acting, with the little gore and everything that we did get,
Mhm.
it wouldn't have pulled off at all.
No dice.
I agree.
So okay, you guys want to go ahead and talk about gore then?
Yeah, the
Gore,
the effects and everything
filmmaking
like that.
aspect of it.
The design and everything, like the design of the werewolves weren't bad, but they were still kind of lackluster at the same time. Especially the brow design. I did not. It was very Neanderthal.
Mm-hmm.
Like especially
as far as the enlarged.
exactly.
Kind of aspect about the
It
forehead.
was a little too enlarged on those aspects. But the overall the design of it was a semi-modern kind of werewolf, kind of like supernatural-esque werewolf,
Yeah.
but you actually still had more of your canine features,
Mhm.
and it's just, I don't know, the brow design, that was, I think, really just the biggest stinker about the makeups. The transformation scene that we got, I thought that was pretty neat. It was all
The one in the recording booth?
Yes,
Mhm.
it was all practical effects,
Mm.
which I am a big fan of, and they enhanced this little bits with the CG, which felt nice.
Mm-hmm.
And like, I think maybe we had a couple like blood splurts or whatever that were mainly CG, but predominantly this movie was a very practical effects heavy for
Yeah.
what we got.
And it's funny because when I saw like the transformation and the end result of the werewolf, I thought that's simple, you know,
Yeah.
it's
Mhm.
clean, it's simple, but the sound design is really what
The
really
snapping
pushed
and
me.
rearranging of the
Yeah,
bones.
That's
and I
what's
was
so crucial in these
I was
werewolf
expecting
Exactly.
something a little bit more intense than what we got
Yeah.
with the makeup, but the sound design really like was unnerving. I'm like, oh man, I literally looked away because I was like, oh, I can't that sound. So
It's like the fingernail in Stir of Echoes.
mm-hmm.
Oh, it still gets me.
Fingernails
every time.
Why
Yeah,
you
I was
do
gonna
it,
say
man?
fingernails and Achilles
Y'all
tendons.
know.
Those are like the
Uh-huh.
two friggin' worst.
Uh-huh.
Always.
But then, you know, at the end, there was some feasting going on that was very, very well done. I
It
thought
was,
it was really
yeah.
cool.
The
Yeah, and
finale
it was satisfying at
very
the
much
same
so.
time
It
too.
was. It was.
It's like, you go, girl.
I
Yeah.
like it. I like that feast she put on it then. So
Yeah.
She's a strong
without
woman.
giving anything away.
Yeah, it was a very humanoid looking design, and I know that often comes when you have budgetary constraints, and yet I still thought that they did very good
Yep.
with what they had and what was capable. There are a few scenes where it's more so like transformation aftermath, and so you just see like kind of clawy, like little fangy, like and
Uh-huh.
eyes, and that's about it, just to just to convey that this character is in fact what you may have suspected.
Yeah.
So, but I don't know. I thought shot selection and also location selection. I thought that once again, just to double down, I thought the mansion where they filmed this at was great. I also there's something very eerie about the cold white north of Canada and just being in these snow-covered sort of areas.
Yeah.
I thought the chase scene that we got in the third act, where just like run, I thought that was very well shot. Amelia Moses. I just want to double check on her name. Because even if I wasn't the biggest fan of Bleed With Me, I think was the other one, I still thought it was, decently directed as far as like getting good performances out of actors, and we'll get to that if you want to watch our review roundup. But I still thought it was very capable filmmaking, and she seems to be a young, director that is, doing some very interesting things on these kind of microscopic budgets, but making stuff that looks far above those sort of capabilities. And so, major props there. And I can't wait to see if there's going to be this sort of creative output just during, quarantine and everything, which is when I believe they shot this, being 2020. Bring it on. Very curious.
But other than that, I'm just going to reiterate on the location of where they shot the house and everything. And I've said it before in many reviews. I am a sucker for snow shots.
You are.
Hey! I see you did that.
I see.
Sorry.
Inappropriate.
Sorry, I derailed you. Go ahead. Go
We're
forward.
adults here, Marcia.
Left us
Somebody
wide
is.
open.
That's what she said.
Anyways, all right, we're gonna end it there and everything
Sorry,
like that.
don't say what you said. Let's go with your thought. I'm sorry, you lost snow scene.
No, that was basically about it and everything. Like, yeah,
It was very beautiful.
It was beautiful, and there is that very eerie sentiment about the cold, quiet winter. Like, seriously, if you guys haven't experienced like a winter even back east or up north, like the dead silence of winter, it's cool, but it's kind of creepy.
Yeah. Just put on your sound machine and put on snowstorm, and in like 5 minutes you're like, I can't do this anymore. And you're gonna change it back to rain. I'm telling you, it's
No, it's all thunder for me.
well, both, right? Anyways, we're digressing.
Anyways,
No, it was
let's
very
get
beautiful.
back down to
It
brass
was beautifully
tacks.
shot,
Yes.
great set design.
Basically, if you guys haven't checked this out and you're
shots.
sleeping on it, I highly recommend it. It's definitely a new, refreshing werewolf movie mixed in with
Different,
but with the musical aspect tied in. But
and that's the one thing.
98% kid friendly, maybe 97%.
there's
I'd
mild
say
nudity and
a little bit.
with a couple. There's a couple
scenes with
sex
the two
scenes
girls.
and everything.
Yeah, but
whatever.
but they were very softcore.
I was more worried about the blood and guts than the.
Yeah,
if you were like watching it with the children around folding clothes.
Yeah, true.
That's fine.
And also the music aspect. We talked sound design a little bit here and there, but the music is quite good, and I even liked the more produced version of the title track because it's the title of the movie and it's the title track and
what we got at the credit scene
in the end credits. I thought it sounded even better in that more just I don't know.
Yeah.
Beefed up and produced sort of fashion.
Finalized state. Yeah,
and satisfying ending also, as Robert said.
I don't know. I feel like we're rambling.
quit being a child. All right, again, this is where we are going to end it, guys. Thank you again, Seth, for all your requests and everything. If you guys want to become a patron, the link is down there in the description. We got the like button. Hit that. Keep up to date. Hit subscribe. See all our beautiful faces for all of our new videos that are coming out.
As beautiful as these stuff? I
Yes.
don't know.
I don't know. He's got a little drippy of the whites.
Back to the whites.
Look,
I blame Marcia, all right, guys?
I'm not saying anything.
All
I'm not
right.
saying anything.
She started it.
It's melting snow.
But anyways, all right, guys. So from everyone here at the Horror Show, I've been Robert the Wolfman.
I'm Marcia Parker.
And gracias a Jaime and Fuego. And remember, until next time, Fright fans,
Stay scared.